Commercial cleaning performance reviews are often packed with data, charts, and metrics, but too often the value of that gets lost once the meeting ends. In this episode, we're going to explore how a unique approach can change that dynamic. Really, by blending education with engagement, cleaning companies can turn routine performance reporting, packed with marketing awareness and their strategies behind that, into a memorable experience that reinforces value, keeps customers paying attention, and strengthens long-term relationships. And I think often that when we're doing this, Chris Arlen, we don't want to put people to sleep in those presentations, do we?
What? Oh
I
yeah,
know.
that's right. That's right. You
Chris.
said it all. You said it all. That's excellent.
Chris
Excellent.
Arlen is my guest today, and he is an expert at talking and keeping everyone awake. So that's the goal today. Chris, welcome.
Okay, howdy, Jeff. Great.
Well, let's talk about this. This is an interesting subject to present information that is educational and entertaining. We know attention spans are short. So, what are some practical ways that you encourage cleaning companies to keep clients engaged?
It's really in performance reporting as well as in some marketing pull efforts. So it's not in everything and everywhere. Uh, the challenge today is people are just overwhelmed with stuff. And also, customers don't know what they don't know. So the hard thing is you can't educate them if they don't think they have an issue. So part of our problem is how do we educate people who don't want to be trained or educated, right? So that's a challenge. The other thing is a lot of noise, too much stuff going on. Um, Also, and lastly, um, there's a lot of AI sameness. So we're going to get a lot of information. Customers are going to be swimming through tsunamis of same good quality, but AI sameness. So that's kind of the three things. So what I've noticed throughout the years is that customers, in especially quarterly business reviews or performance reporting, right? When you sit down and you go over the strategic and all the KPIs and all that stuff, customers, after a while, will start to say, hey, you guys are doing a great job. We don't need this. We don't need this. And the problem is they turn you off and then they only start hearing from you when something goes wrong. So, as contractors selling a service, performing, delivering a service, we've got to resell our value in these quarterly or monthly or annual business meetings. So we want to do that. And the way one way we can help to let them know it's important is by entertaining them while we educate them. And that's the big challenge. So we never want to turn that off. We always want to make sure they do. Otherwise, all they're going to hear is the bad stuff when things go wrong. And we need to do a proactive reselling of the value we deliver. And so one way to keep their attention, I mean, I've seen this in corporate America and working with corporate security directors, and it happens all the time. It's the same, they go in, they got 5 meetings in that day. Probably like you right now, I put you to sleep, not very entertaining. So I want to make sure that people pay attention and you give them something to look forward to.
Yeah, I nodded off a couple times there, Chris. What was that last part?
Right. Well, as successful as I was, actually won an award for that. And long story, but I won't go into it. But the long story was the recognition that in corporate America, our customers, when as a business BSCs, we're selling to our contract customers, they sit through a lot of meetings and they're bored out of their gourd. And if it's repetitive, it's the same stuff. Oh, your KPIs are this, your standard this, they're going to beat you up. They're going to, praise you. It's the standard stuff. The real reason is we want to make a relationship. And part of that is to engage with some entertainment. And so let me, Jeff, wake
Yes,
up. I'm going to
I'm
tell you
awake.
something really, I'm going to say something really important now. I've had 3 double espressos, so I'm awake. Um, it's the right situation. Edutainment doesn't work in all situations. So first of all, It has to be the right situation, a quarterly business review, something like that. It doesn't work, I don't think, in a shortlist presentation when you're posing work, right? That's a serious meeting. All of a sudden, you've made the short list and you go in front of the customer and you're going to explain your proposal. That's probably not the best thing to bring in some jokes or comedy. However, if it's a repetitive quarterly business review, absolutely bring it in. The other thing, and this is what I found out with customers, the presenter needs to have courage. Why? Because the presenter is doing something different that their other peers are not doing. And that takes some courage. So that presenter in a QBR or monthly, whatever it is, has to really know the customer's individual personality and the audience. They have to be able to read the room. And then they have to have the courage to say, I'm going to do something different. And those are the kind of conditions you need to do edutainment.
You know, Chris, when you started talking about these meetings and the data and the statistics, yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I'd want to do that because send me an email or
It's well, yeah, exactly,
so
exactly.
so I get the challenge. I like your idea because you have to be engaged. Another meeting with your cleaning contractor? Yes, no, thank you. So
Yeah, yeah.
why don't we look at a couple examples? Is this the right time?
Why not?
Okay, let's play a couple of examples you sent me, and then we'll talk about them.
When you woke up this morning, everything was gone.
Is there something you want to say to me? That's not gonna fly here. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Here comes the Prozac. You're gonna relax.
So, Chris, you've seen these used in practice in the real world. What's the response? What's it like?
Well, the my favorite response is when the my customer, their boss, would have these quarterly. And so my customer was one of several who had to present to his boss. And the response was, woke up and said, hey, this is great. So he said, my customer's boss said to the rest of the peers, hey, it's a competition now. Let's see who can do the best one because they're bored. It's year after year, quarter, monthly, all these reports, and they're going to sleep. Now they need to do it because that's kind of the requirement, the duty of care that the organization has to do. So they're going to sit through these meetings, but they're going to snooze and they're not going to care. The other result was my customer, his peers came to him and said, I can't wait to see the next quarter because all of a sudden they were paying attention. It wasn't the meat of the meeting, it was the frame and the context. It just changed it. Now the data that they were reporting, the information, the initiatives, that was serious stuff, really serious and mattered. But the reporting of it became so mundane and routine that we're like, right now we're just going to sleep.
Some of the items you sent me that we've seen on screen so far are pretty cool. Are we talking about a high level design degree needed to do this, or did you just do it yourself?
So I'm at the bottom. Okay. So it's PowerPoint. Those are all done in PowerPoint.
Okay.
And just using various assets, video, image, audio, stuff like that.
And one of the examples was Star Wars. Now, I'm going to say this, Chris, on tape here. Did you steal something from the internet And are we going to share a jail cell because I played it as well? Because, I'm complicit now too.
Yeah, yeah, you probably are. Um, no, so this is where the caveat, you should flash it up saying, this is not legal advice. You should not follow this, right? But the research that I've done and where I felt comfortable is it's called fair use of copyright. Okay. And I'm not going to go into the legal things, but there are like 4 conditions and they do not all have to be present. There's just a preponderance. I mean, if you think about rap songs that will, take a snippet of some other song and integrate it in, they're able to do that because of fair use of copyright. So that's basically it. And primarily it's educational. You're not making money, you're not selling it. You are repurposing it in another context. And those are kind of 2 of the main issues on fair use of copyright.
Yeah, I kind of knew that, but I wanted to hear you say it.
So we don't get the same jail cell, all right?
Yeah, I think after a while the jokes might run dry if we're in the same jail cell, but we'll see what happens.
Who knows? Who
No, that's
knows?
good information. You're right that fair use it applies. I've had that come up when I've sent material in, like for a presentation, like a teaser, and I've stolen some movie clip or something, and there's like that question, like, no, it's okay. We're not reselling that. And if we use it, it's in the
Education.
legal
Yeah.
realms that
Yeah.
we need to
Yeah.
follow. Um, I want to close with maybe you talking about negotiations, renegotiating a contract. Is how important is it when they're up for renewal that we have this type of strategy in place?
It's the most critical thing that a service contractor can do. The
Wow.
problem with services is the value doesn't come on day one. The value occurs every day, every month, year that you have that. And people, customers are human. They don't remember the 99% of wonderful service, right? What do they remember? The time you hit your hand with a hammer and it hurts and it's a big blow up. And we're services. So we are going to fail. There's just the nature of service. So the reselling, the retelling of value is critical. But if people are checked out or don't even bother to take the time, remember, they're investing their time. Customers are investing their time to listen to you report out what you've done for the last 3 months. So give them the data, but don't put them to sleep because they need to remember as much of the value you delivered by the time you get to the renewal, right? If all they've remembered is, hey, there was that mistake then and that mistake failure there, that's what they're going to remember. And that's going to be the bad check mark on your evaluation when you put your proposal as the incumbent to retain it. So any kind of renewal, it's absolutely the most essential. You need every opportunity to resell the value of what you're doing. And services value come daily, weekly, monthly.
So you used the example of Star Wars. I'm going to put together my own based on Dumb and Dumber.
Is that going to be the teaser for this session?
Oh, maybe we'll find out. Could get us into some hot water, but Chris, always a pleasure. I'll look forward to our next episode.